It's funny talking about yourself. I wouldn't talk about this. I mean, I've got no interest in what I say because I already know what I can say because I know what I think already. So I'm just doing this for you. I thought we'd be walking around. I'm so glad we could sit down and do this. It's the best interview. What I hate is when they want you to walk around and talk about pictures. In the East End, it was kind of, to be humorous was a defence. Because you could get out of trouble by turning it into a joke. So there's lots of humorous people in the East End because lots of people are always in trouble. I was about 8 when the war ended, so I lived through most of the war in London. All night, chickens used to wake you up, because everyone had chickens in their backyards for Christmas dinner. Then the screaming cats, and then the bombs. It was an Odeon cinema, one of those kind of Art Deco Egyptian things. It was fantastic. And that was bombed. That's where I saw Mickey Mouse and Bambi and everybody, and I thought that shit, Hitler had killed Bambi and Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. When you're a kid, you don't know it's a war, so you don't even think about it. We only went away for a couple of months. My mother didn't like leaving London. So, you know, they didn't like Londoners in the country. And we were there about 3 months, and a couple of big guys came up to me and said, "Would you like a BlackBerry?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." So they gave me a BlackBerry, and they said, "Do you want some more Blackberries?" I thought, yeah, why not? And then they said, "We pissed on those Blackberries." So that evening I burnt their field down. I must have been about 6. I'm kind of extremely dyslexic, so I had no art education. I didn't have any education, really, which is probably a good thing. So I didn't turn out to be an educated fool. The only thing I knew about art I learnt from Picasso. Because he showed me there was no rules. There's nobody can tell you that you're wrong, in a way, as long as you're right, like him. But it's dangerous road to go down. Depends whether you want to live on the edge or want to just have a nice, comfortable life, and I don't want to have a nice, comfortable life. I took pictures for the Daily Express, and it was always sometimes a full page on a Thursday, which was very unusual then. And Vogue said, "Would you like to come and work for us?" They wanted to pay me a week. Well, Woman's Own was paying me 1 picture. And I turned down Vogue. I just didn't think the money was right. I still don't think the money's right. You know, Condé Nast are the cheapest people in the world to pay photographers. 3 months later, they said, "Would you like a contract?" Which meant you got paid by the picture. And that's how I ended up at Vogue, really. 18 months later, I met Jean Shrimpton through Duffy. And I said to Duffy, "Who's that girl?" He said, "Oh, she's too posh for you." I said, "Oh, we'll see about that." I had a fight with Vogue to use her. They said, "Just because you're bonking her doesn't mean to say we're going to use her." But I got my way. With Vogue and Jean. Well, there's 2 60s. The real 60s, and then there was the end, the American 60s. Well, you know when Sammy Davis and Judy Garland turn up on your doorstep, the 60s are over. It's great if you're in London. Beatles in those days were, to me, like a boy band. The Stones were interesting. I mean, especially Mick. We were quite close. In fact, When I got married, he was my best man, I think. He was, yeah. I did a book called Box of Pin-Ups. Michael Caine, and all the Stones, and Gene Shrimpton, and Terry Stamp, all sorts of people. All those people later became quite well known. But it was completely accidental. They were just mostly mates. In England, the gangsters, you know, the Crays, they were friends. In fact, the only wedding I've ever done was with Reggie. The joke was he's making you an offer you can't refuse. Pictures are good, actually. I suppose Mick with the fur hood, Mike with the cigarette. I mean, the most popular picture we got now is probably Kate. Kate and the Queen. It's funny how some people have that magic. It's a magic you can't ever understand, why the camera suddenly lights somebody. Or why somebody can take pictures and somebody can't. You need to be a bit of an alchemist to be a photographer. My favourite agency was Chiat Day in America, Jay Chiat.
Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. To be great is to be misunderstood.
I had more respect for him than anybody in advertising because he was a maverick in America.
Education, when he arrives at the conviction that envy is ignorance, that imitation is suicide, that he must take himself for better, for worse, as his portion.
You know, it's not so hard to be a maverick in London or in Paris or in Rome, but being a maverick in corporate America takes an awful lot of balls. And I thought he had a lot of balls.
It is infirmity of will.
But he was great. And then he died. Actually, I stopped doing it when he died. I don't want to deal with all those corporate people anymore.
To believe that what is true for you in your private heart is true for all men. That is genius.
You know, they want to see the film before you've even made it. They want to dislike it before you've even made it. So it's always common sense to me. Everything's sort of common sense, really, like photography. I mean, just take everything away. Just have an idea and then strip it bare. Take all the leaves off the tree. See what the tree looks like without leaves. I mean, just less and less. Remember, less is more in everything, except sex. People often ask what I do. I don't do anything. Maybe I should invent some bullshit. Looking for the accident. It's just that one kind of fortuitous accident that just happens and you think, shit, that's fantastic. The accident's the secret to creativity. So it's the same. It's like if you're painting on a drip, you think, oh, that looks nice. Let's investigate that drip. Everything adds to everything. It's a kind of collective consciousness. We all know that that picture says something to more people than another picture. We're all part of the same thing. We just start sounding like an old hippie if you're not careful. That's the trouble now. You can't say anything because you either sound like an old hippie or Donald Trump. I mean, I don't know which way to go. Actually, I like Donald. I directed about 12 commercials for Donald Trump once. I had a good time. It's always nice to have a bit of support. Why's the music gone off, Joe?
I've done it.
Oh, why'd you do that, Mark?
Because if we want to use this piece of footage, we can't use the music.
Oh, fucking hell, you're thinking like a movie man. Fucking hell, thinking like a movie man. Been here 10 years and think this is Kubrick. Is it working? Hello, hello. You don't need to change too much. Once you change it, you've got to get it back to what it was. Lots of people are limited by their ambitions. I think most people's problems are their ambitions are too low. It's best not to have ambitions if you're going to be limited by them. Never think that's it, that's where I'm going. Think where you're going and then look over the hill again and see where else you can go. I haven't learned anything really. I think you know everything from the age of 15. I haven't really changed.
So at 78, you still think the same way you did at 15?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.